How is it going? See if this works. Oh, hand cam. Worked on the first try. Wow. Wow. Hello. Where did I put my new thing? Hold on. Oh, there it is. Hold on. It's too far away. Okay, there we go. Hello, welcome. Megalum first. Hello. Hello, welcome. Matilda, hello. Not the Batfoot. Tristan, welcome. Welcome. How's it going? Did you notice? Did you notice today? We started on time. At like exactly 9 Central. Amazing. We may have started like 30 seconds early. By started, I mean started streaming, like with the starting soon screen. Not necessarily like actually actively streaming, but the starting soon screen counts. Hello, hello, how's everyone doing? No one has gotten any of the new gun gachapon things yet. It's not terribly surprising, even though we added quite a few yesterday. There's there's it's still a small percentage. All right, chat. So today you may be able to tell from the title what's new. We got an optic. And you should be able to tell based on, well, the guns on the table. What it's for. Oh, maybe. I guess technically you could put an optic on any of these. So you've got a 30% chance of knowing what the optic is for. Calico? Elcan for the Calico? It is not a Calico optic. It is not. No Calico optic, unfortunately. There's, well, we've got a bit of a weird build. I say as if none of the guns on the table are weird. This one. We need an optic for the only gun I have that actually has a light that lives on it. Glock armor. No plate on the slide. I mean, it's no plate, but we do still have the cover there. We don't have an optics plate though. It's just not blue. Yeah, we finally got an optic for this weird guy here. See, it's a very high quality optic for sure to go on the Brazilian made Stoeger. So I guess, I don't know. Can anyone guess what optic it is? It was on sale. That's probably a pretty good giveaway. It was on sale, chat. It was on sale. I have a knife to open this somewhere. I've got a screwdriver. That'll work well enough. LPVO LPVO on the 20-inch barrel shotgun? No. That would be funny though. Holosun. It is not as nice as a Holosun. It's not quite that high quality. We've got Optic. Romeo 5, very close. It is a SIG. It is SIG sight. Ultra Dot Pan AV clone. Very specific. And it would have been really impressive if that was correct. But it is not. We've got a SIG sight. Because this, come on, it's a ridiculous gun. We got to put a ridiculous sight on it. So let's, hold on, I need this gun closer to me. So we got to rearrange the desk real quick. Well, put these up here. Caught a hair. Alright, there we go. There we go. Now we got the shotgun close to me. It's definitely pointed like right at my model's head. That's okay. But we've got our new optic. We can do an unboxing stream. Unboxing stream. Because this is not pre-opened. Still has the seals intact. So it's gonna be real awkward if I got some horrible blem. It's not gonna be awkward for me. It's gonna be awkward for SIG. Any second now. Any second now it'll be open. It's slowly sliding out. I hate these, whatever these little, there we go. These boxes are. All right, owner's manual. This owner manual is like 3 pages. Careful, it can go off doing that. The sight's gonna go off. Does it have a warning to not eat the batteries? Warning. Oh, ensure firearm is unloaded and safe. It doesn't say anything about not eating the batteries. So we might have to try out the batteries. You know, got to be sure they've got good mouthfeel. Where's Deal at? Looking for new optic. I posted it in the Discord under the deals and giveaways tab. And we've got in bag a snack pack. This is the best part. It's the best part, chat. The snack packet. I'll save it for later. All right, we've got Allen wrench. Oh, we've got a little like glare protector thing, so the enemy can't see the glare of your non-magnified red dot, I guess. And we have the shorter mount. I am not sure which mount I'm going to be using. So we got to figure that out. Obviously, QD mount would probably be pretty handy. That's a weird QD system. I mean, it's functional. Tall, silly, short, practical. So I mean, the shotgun, the stock already drops. So I'm thinking the short, but we're gonna at least see what this looks like on there. And no, more zoom. The little QD system. It's a lever. And it's got this little like locking tab on it. So you pull the tab forward. Interesting. Very simple. All right, so this is QD. Oh, now it's broken. Hold. Come off. There we go. So probably we should be able to quickly put this on and off, just see how it looks. This doesn't have batteries in it yet, I am guessing, since the battery is in here. All right, let's see what this looks like. Extra high. Wow, that was the loosest QD attachment I have ever experienced in my life. I mean, just on looks, it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad. Is it usable though? Is this usable? How much of a chin weld do I need for this? Holy height. Yeah, this is too high. That's not even like, that's awful. That's terrible. That's way too high. Derek, shotgun looks worthy of getting used by aristocrat ranked citizen. This is far too inexpensive for an aristocrat. But yeah, this, that's far too tall. That is far too tall. So we got to use the low mount. Wherever it is. There it is. All right, low mount, not QD, but it is significantly shorter. All right, they better use the same Allen wrench for all the screws on this thing. Yes, good. And then question, do we Loctite in the, well, those weren't Loctited at all. Do we Loctite in the new screws? Honestly, if I could just direct mount this on the Picatinny rail, I think that would be ideal, actually. But unfortunately, I don't think I can do that. So here's, you can look at the height difference on these. Let me point them the similar direction. Pretty significant height difference. All right, I'm assuming that for the low mount, we use the shorter screws that this came with. Do we Loctite these? It's probably a good idea, huh? I think I have some Loctite here. I thought I had Loctite here. Yeah, there it is. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Oh, goodness. Well, that was quite a bit of Loctite on that one. I'll be okay. We can just use that for both of them. They can share. There we go. Gunsmithing. This is gunsmithing right here, chat. And I don't even have an SDI degree. Look at me. I don't have to take the SDI optics mounting course. And here I am, changing out the base of an optic. Incredible. How did I ever learn such wonderful skills? Even use Loctite, like a responsible optic mounter. All right, now we just put this on with the low mount. I really want this as far back as possible because this rail is very far forwards. But I also don't want it sticking off the back of the rail because that looks like the stupidest thing ever. Nice scatter cannon. Thank you. All right, let's see if that's better. It's got to at least be better. Okay, well, that's still very high. That's still so high. But it is usable. And that is the important part. So, there we go. All set up nicely. Lizard, waiting on VZ61 to come in. But I saw a friend for it on Bass Pro. What? Huh? I expect to not use these other screws, but who knows? Maybe this optic will live somewhere else someday. So we're gonna hoard all the pieces for it. In the bags they came in. And I will keep this box forever and ever and ever because I'm a hoarder. There we go, chat. Look at that. Look at that absolute... Dang it. We need the battery. Why is this plastic bag laying there nicely? There we go. Perfect. Don't need that bag. What is this? What is this link? Bass Pro. Zastava Model 70. Oh, this is a Bass Pro used gun. If you buy a used gun from Bass Pro or Cabela's, do keep in mind that they do literally 0 function checks on it. Like, if you're an employee of Bass Pro Shop, you're literally not even allowed to pull the trigger on the guns. So, keep that in mind if you're buying used guns from Bass Pro. I would never buy a used gun from Bass Pro if I could not inspect it with my own fingies. I mean, I don't know, I guess as just a gun itself, it doesn't look like it's in terrible shape. It does not look bad. I mean, for 250, and 250 is not too much of money to be gambling on Bass Pro used guns with, so if it's a gun that you wanted anyways, I'd go for it. Which way does this battery go in? This doesn't have any markings on it. They say which way the battery goes in. Oh yeah, it does. Just kidding. It does have markings. Goes this way. This is very inconvenient to tighten on. Oh my goodness. Go on, please. I should have done this before I mounted the optic. I don't have enough space here. Who let me mount the optic before I put the battery in? I've got like no space to grab onto this little optic battery cap. Come on, go. Screw on the rest of the way. Okay, that's good enough. That's good enough. Now, does it work? Does it work? Hey, it works. That's a kind of inconvenient optic switch. It has off. Here, hold on. Can we zoom in to show this? Whoa. So we've got off, rotated all the way this way, and then each click, it turns it up just a little bit. So you have to get like a full half spin on this thing before you even have a visible red dot. So this is not a quickly turn on red dot. Needs a silencer, double barrel silencer. That would be interesting. It's not threaded. We got no chokes in here. I'm not sure how a double barrel suppressor would work. I know that I have seen some that exist before, but I don't know how they attach. Lizard, looking for first suppressor, thinking YHM9. It's a good choice. Honestly, first suppressor, you just get something fairly budget friendly. Unless you've just got a really big budget, I guess. Is a 6-barrel printed silencer? Surely a 2-barrel can't be difficult. I mean, doesn't the 6-barrel one that goes on the like the minigun, right? I've seen that one. I think they were showing that one at SHOT Show. The Tippmann Gatling gun. Is that one 3D printed? Ah. But a Gatling gun, it has like a center you can attach to pretty easily. I don't know how you would attach to a double barrel. I mean, I guess this one specifically, you probably, if you're going to make it 3D print it yourself, you could probably just clamp it onto the front of the Picatinny rail on both sides. That's probably a possibility. There we go. There we go. We got the whole thing going now. I can pull out my super tactical shotgun. Not the BATFA. I was thinking the one for the Nopal printed Gatling gun. I mean, if you're making the platform, Lizard, the Gilboa snake. I almost bought one of these. Chat, there's an alternate reality where instead of buying the Heiser from the Demo Ranch event, I bought the Gilboa snake. It was very tempting. It was very tempting. One left in stock. One left in stock. Only $2,100. Those are very weird guns, for sure. It'd be neat to have one. But $2,100 is really hard to justify for hee, that's kind of funny. I don't think I could do it. Lizard, should I get my suppressor from Silencer Shop? They have it pretty cheap and partnered with local gun shop. Yeah, so if you're buying a suppressor and you buy a Silencer Shop one, then usually you don't have to pay a transfer fee if you're going through a Silencer Shop partnered gun store, which is actually huge because most stores charge extra for NFA transfers. So going through Silencer Shop usually will save you some NFA transfer money. Oh, also with this red dot, hold on, can I show you guys? Can I show you guys this? The sight picture through this red dot. Turn on sight. With this light mounted like this light is kind of obscuring the iron sight picture because it's mounted on the top, because I am truly a world-renowned gunsmith. But hold on, can we do this? Is the gun too long? With the red dot, look at that. Wow. Now you're looking over the light instead of under / next to the light. And I need to go and take this out shooting and pretend like I can zero it. If you're zeroing a double barrel shotgun, do you zero it to the top or the bottom barrel? I have no idea. This is such a stupid shotgun. This is such a stupid shotgun. What other attachments can I put on this, chat? What other attachments does this need? It doesn't have a bottom Picatinny rail. So you can't put like a grip on it. I mean, you might be able to, but it'd be a huge pain. Wait, hold on. Stoeger forend with Picatinny. Does anyone make that? Stoeger forends. I don't want Stoeger Condor. This because this does use the same furniture as the Stoeger Condor, and that's the more common one. Stoeger Condor parts. Forend. I'm not seeing any Picatinny forends for the Stoeger for some reason. IR visible laser. Just get a D-ball. Put a D-ball on my Stoeger break action. And there's no OEM versions for it, and I am having a hard time searching for not OEM. Oh, Midwest Gunworks? Midwest Gunworks? Sometimes they have weird things. Stoeger Condor and Double Defense. Oh, if it wasn't sold out, you can get just the metal furniture from inside this, and then you could like make your own forend around it. Sold out though. I guess I have it here. If I wanted to do that, I probably could take it off. And then you could just like 3D print some absolutely insane forend. Printer go burr. That would be very interesting to do. Just 3D print an absolute abomination of a forend. Like a foregrip, an angled grip, and a grip pod on your shotgun forend. Audience hold wait. Is there a 90-degree Picatinny? Yes. Yes, chat. 90-degree offset Picatinny rail to put on the back of this front Picatinny rail, and you could put a foregrip, like offset to the side. What a miserable thing that would be. Miserable enough that it's tempting. Then I would need to buy another foregrip though. I don't think I have any sitting around. You know what I do have sitting around though? Nope, come here. Imagine, chat. Imagine. Oh, my neck's broken. Hold on. There we go. Imagine. Imagine with me a world. Does it have threaded in chokes? No. No. I had to check just to be sure. See, you get the 90-degree offset Picatinny rail, and then the Picatinny to AR grip converter, and you stick that off the front at a slightly offset to the side. That's awful. That's terrible. Who lets me come up with ideas? They shouldn't do that. You know, no chokes. If I was gonna put any choke thread attachments on this, I would have to get this threaded for chokes. I would have to take this to a gunsmith because I definitely don't have the tools to do that myself. I don't know how much that costs. How much does it cost to have a shotgun for threaded for chokes? $100 to $400. So that's a big difference. It's also a double barrel, so it's probably twice whatever it is, because that's probably for single barrel. Will they get away with rail-mounted silencers on pistol calibers? I doubt it would go with 12 gauge. That's why you attach the rails on both sides. See, because it's got rails on both sides. It would be perfect. And you just like cinch it down on both sides of the Picatinny rail. The suppressor probably would not be very effective. let's be honest, shotgun suppressors not very effective in the first place. Oh, I'm sure it would be fine then. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, if you or I were going to do that for something like this, probably you make the bore diameter of your suppressor a little on the large side, just to be safe. Just to be safe. Is there a 3D printed shotgun suppressor? If you type in 3D printed suppressors, you just start getting Luigi stuff. Double barrel shotgun suppressor. Romeo Hotel Engineering. Oh, that's a side-by-side suppressor. And it's attaches by chokes. Interesting. Okay, so it's okay. That's how it attaches. You just have effectively really long chokes. I assume there's many holes in them on the inside there. And you just tighten them into your choke threads from the front. Interesting. Also, $1,200 out of stock. Quality silencer specifically built for DP12 shotgun. Yeah, really the problem with a DP12 is that it's just not large enough. So just put this on the front of it. It's huge. Unreasonably large. Kind of like it. Isn't that basically how all of them attach? Well, I mean, if you've got a single barrel shotgun, then you don't have to deal with lining up 2 holes for 2 barrels. And I have not put much thought or care into double barrel suppressors. FTN3 shotgun suppressor. What is that? that a double barrel shotgun suppressor? DefCAD. Images. This just looks like a standard. This is a standard one barrel suppressor. I need a double barrel. Gross DefCAD. It's true. It's true. So basically, if I was gonna make if I wanted to put a suppressor on this, I would have to design it myself. And that makes it a lot more work. I think the only, like, even among like home built suppressors, there's not a lot of options. There's the one that's specifically made for the DP12. There's a British company that makes integrally suppressed over under. What? Saddlery and gunroom. What? I want to know how much that costs, please. Gunroom shotguns. Oh my, this is the worst website I've ever seen in my life. I was told that somewhere in this website there is an integrally suppressed. Somewhere in this website there is an integrally suppressed over-under shotgun. But this is what the website looks like. That's miserable. Not only do British people have just the worst time ever buying guns, they also have to deal with websites like this. Oh my goodness. Look at that though. Integrally suppressed over under. I need the Hearing Protection Act to pass so someone can make this. Because that is entirely ridiculous, which is exactly what I want. It's also probably entirely very expensive. Now, chat, would you buy the integrally suppressed British over-under shotgun? I mean, this is obviously a sporting shotgun. So this thing probably has, like, at minimum, probably like a 26-inch barrel. And you've got a few inches back here of the barrel. So you probably have like 3 inches of not suppressor. maybe 4. Which means that this is probably at minimum like a 20, 22 inch long integrally suppressed part. 20 or 22, 20 to 22 inch long suppressor at minimum. I want it. I need it. Give it to me. He also has no forend. You just C-clamp the suppressor. It'll be fine. I wonder how fast this suppressor heats up. Because it is a break action 12 gauge. There also is there's a lot of suppressor here to heat up. Probably not that fast. I wouldn't imagine it heats up fast. So I mean, every time you reload, you're going to be getting quite a bit of airflow in through your barrel and suppressor. But it's still got to heat up. Probably, I don't know, probably is good enough to go for like a round of skeet, round of trap. And then you put it down, wait for your next turn, let it cool off a bit. So probably you're shooting like a max of 50 rounds at a time. But you also have to reload every 2 shots, and that'll put a lot of air through the barrels. If it did, you could always put a heat wrap on it. I mean, you could, but then you'd block your little tiny bead front sight on, on the top of the suppressor. You would need a very thin wrap so you don't block your bead. Which I know when you're shooting a shotgun, you're not supposed to actually focus on the bead, but you still need to know where it is. Oh, this is weird. This is weird and I like it. And I need to know what it's called. If for no other reason than so I can add it to the gun gachapon. Oh, I found an article, not an article. A post, a thread post about it. Well, there's another picture of it. Another picture of it, unlabeled. Just someone shared it on a forum. And it's like, hey, can I do this with my Safari rifle as well? There we go. Look. That's huge. That's massive. It's entirely ridiculous. And I want it. Use hose clamps to hold a 3/4 wrap on. A hose clamp around your probably very expensive over-under. I just want to know what this is called. There's 2 pictures of it here. It's the same guy holding it in both pictures. But he's got on different outfits. So I think it's probably 2 different times that he's got it out. And duct tape and oven mitt. Well, if you got the oven mitt, do you really even need the duct tape? So what you do is you just like glue on an oven mitt where you would put your hand, and whenever you pick up the gun, you just slide your hand into the oven mitt that's already attached to the gun. It's like a foregrip, except backwards. Or instead of grabbing the foregrip wraps around your hand. It's perfect. Ideal. It's probably just called My Project Shotgun by that guy. But I want to know what it is. There's got to be more information about it somewhere. Right? Somewhere there's got to be. But I don't know where to find it. I don't know how to search for it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where to find it. It exists on the internet, at least, somewhere. But it's vanished. Investarm Hush Power? Is that it? Is that it? Matilda find it? The moderated shotgun. These, we're close. We're getting close. So we've got a lot of suppressed shotguns here. We've got this one. A Yildiz integrally suppressed. SB. I don't know what SB means. This looks like a single shot shotgun though. Double barrel is at the top of the page. Seems to be discontinued. No! But there it is. You're right. I just didn't even pay attention to the top of the page. And this is a different guy holding it. Shotguns. Oh. Oh, it's another just big list. Metfa. I wonder if it is just the old DIY style, where the barrel is heavily ported, wrapped in some media, and tube mounted around it. It's pretty possible. I mean, so we can analyze. So it looks like there very well may just be shotgun in there. It looks possible. Enhance. And obviously it's a tube with a cap on it, held on by hex screws. Or maybe star screws, can't tell. Either way, even if it is just super heavily ported barrel, I want it. I want it. There's the Yildiz one. That was just a single barrel. That one looks super janky. This one looks like it was done in a garage. You can buy these shotguns for like $100 here in the US. The Yildiz, like single shot shotguns, are like $100. What is this? Oh. Oh. This, oh. What is happening here? Matilda, what is that? I hope for this old man's sake that this is 410 or smaller. Some kind of night vision or thermal scope. Probably thermal. On 2 mounts. And he's got his face on the eye cup. Digital day night. Yeah, it's probably some kind of digital. Oh my. Oh. Oh. He's got a reverse gooseneck on it. Got a backwards gooseneck. Detaches on the front and goosenecks upwards and back. Is this the same as that? Is this Yildiz? No, it's got a different... yeah. It's not the Yildiz, because it's got a different brake lever. I hope it's still like 410. Oh. I couldn't do that. Having an eye cup on a scope makes me so uncomfortable. And I'm gonna be honest, I've never shot a scope with an eye cup on it, but just the idea of it makes me so uncomfortable. I don't like it. I don't like it. Are these fools in Europe? I don't know where this guy is. But this stuff is in Europe. And this looks like it was kind of done the same way. This guy does look pretty British as well. Like, look at him. He's got like his button-up shirt and then a sweater and then like a wool jacket. Super British. Kind of what you were thinking. This guy looks super British. Probably a super sweet old man. If he probably a really quirky sweet old man, because it looks like he's got an integrally suppressed 410 shotgun with a thermal on it. What does he do with that? Is he like shoot rats at night or something? I don't know. It's the UK. They've had rat problems in the past. What does he do with this? I don't know. It's weird. Somewhere in the British Isles, the British Islands somewhere. There's someone with it, this integrally suppressed over under, and I need them to make a video on it so I can see what on earth is happening here. Because that's really weird. Like an off-brand AGM Rattler. It could just be like an older version of it. He on the rat control squad. He's patrolling the streets at night with his 410 shotgun with a thermal on it. He's probably not. Probably would get arrested for that. Walking around the streets. Just, in general. In general, walking on the street. With or without a shotgun. You'd probably get arrested for that. Oh, oh. This is terrible. I looked at the stream preview, and this like is just perfectly sat right there, as if it's attached, and that's bad. That's gross. Functionally, it probably wouldn't be literally the worst thing ever, but aesthetically, it's very bad. Unlike the rest of the shotgun, clearly, which is peak aesthetic. Mao, hello, welcome. It's horrible. Make it happen. Oh, it's possible. It's possible. Could either 3D print a new forend. It can take AR grips, or put a 90-degree Picatinny and then a Picatinny to AR grip adapter, and then this just like offset to the side up here. Mount that with a single hose clamp and a Dremel. How do you mount this with a hose clamp? I guess, do you like Dremel a hole in it and put the hose clamp through the hole? And then just like hose clamp it on somewhere? No, absolutely not. I may actually try to 3D print a forend for this. That'd be very interesting. Would probably be something that would be easier if someone already had a CAD file for one of these forends, so I didn't have to actually like do measurement and fitment to the hardware in there. That would make this whole thing a lot easier. If I was going to do that. King Panzer, hello. Welcome. Got the STD 1911. Nice. I'm just using this A2 grip as a fidget spinner. I'm very normal, by the way. Just gonna keep spinning it though. Did you find any recruits from Vube? I have not checked the sign-up sheet in a while. Google Drive, come to me. There are quite a number of people signed up. We could probably do a few game shows with how many people are signed up right now. I also, I'll be honest, gotta, you know, like actually like stop by people's streams, because I don't know all these people. So I gotta be sure that they, to put it bluntly, I gotta be sure they aren't like boring. Which I don't expect anybody to be like super boring. Are real. Gotta be sure they're real, that as well. But, you know, I'm sure everyone's like seen the streamer that's just there and they just like are quiet and like quietly playing a game. And that's fine. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But you got to be able to like to talk well, or at least half decently. Like I'm not out here saying you got to be like Martin Luther King Jr., like master orator. But gotta vet people, right? Gotta vet people. Not in the bad foot. Gotta start actually streaming so my entry doesn't get rejected. Oh no. Yeah, we got a good amount of people interested. So now I'm gonna actually have to do the game show. You gotta make like OBS scenes and overlays and stuff for it. Probably gotta advertise it too. Gotta. Oh, oh no! You know what I have to do? Schedule things. Oh, my biggest weakness: scheduling. Scheduling? What is scheduling? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Speaking of game shows, did you ever finish that one with Dick? No. No. I don't know if that was a I don't know if that was like a game show. Was that a game show? That might have been. Like a game show light. I've got quite a few ideas. I've got quite a few different game show ideas. Some of them honestly will have to wait until I do a little bit more growth as a streamer, content creator. Because if I'm gonna do some like family feud style of game, then well, you need a bigger audience to subject to questioning. Have you seen what Rheinmetall was up to from 1936 to 1945? I mean, I can take some guesses. Because, well, Rheinmetall. Is this their website? This looks like a mobile website. 1889 to 1918. I don't know what's going on here. Is this like sewing? I don't know what's happening here. 1918 to 1935. Very, very good. 1936 to 1945. What? why is why is there a mouse on the front of this train? It looks like, huh? Creature. Rheinmetall secretly has like rodents the size of 18 wheelers. 1946 to 1956. Android user. Fingerprints. Mouse. What is this? That's a little unhinged. I don't know what's happening there. Rheinmetall built the Panzer VIII mouse. That's what the old guy is fighting with his shotgun and thermal. He might need more than 410 for this rodent. That's the size of a private jet. Hopefully it does not fly like a private jet. Artist got silly. It's the super heavy tank. Mouse tank. And this is just on their website. This is on the Rheinmetall website. That's beautiful. This is a work of art. I would hang this on my wall. Artist AI could never do this. Looks funnier on mobile. Yeah, there it is. There it is. It's little. Yeah, I would definitely hang that on my wall for sure. Das Maus Superpanzer. That's beautiful. This is better than any piece of modern artwork that has ever existed. Just a mouse on a tank. Super heavy tank for the German army. Attached to chains floating from one position to the next in factory hall. What onlookers didn't know and weren't allowed to know is the factory was whatever that word is. G3 Matt.
G3 Matt R15 just subscribed for 3 months.
Thank you for the subscription. Not Raiders. Thank you for the subscription. Hello, subscriber. don't mind Mao. Is the Raider and subscriber sound alert the same? Hold on. Oh, now I have to know. Wait, I have to check. Those might be the same sound. Hold on. Hold on. Subscribe. So we just heard the subscriber one. What's the raid one? Where is the raid one? Raids. That's a different sound. That's a different sound.
Maxert just traded with 32 viewers.
It's not real. It's not real. Don't pay attention to that. It's a different sound. Although I will admit, neither of them is very identifying. translates to Altmark region chain works. What kind of scattergun is that? Was the pick rails? This is a Stoeger double defense that is all tacticaled out for funnies. Because it's beautiful, that's why. So, this is now, I was going to say this is now complete. This is now more completed. There's more I want to do with this. I just don't know what it is yet. If I ever get a laser engraver, I'm gonna laser engrave something on this stock. But that's if is the double defense different from the Condor? Yes. This one says double defense on it, and the Condor says Condor on it. Other than that, no. They're the same receiver. They take the same furniture sets. Although there are a few different generations of like fore-end hardware. And so if you get an old Stoeger Condor, it might take different fore-ends than a new one. So if you're going to be replacing things on it, be aware of that. Kludge a Hera Defense hunting stock onto that? No. Now, kludging a Hera Defense thumbhole foregrip on it, that might be a different story. No, you know, brother. What? Why not? Just imagine like a nice like 3D printed forend, and inset into the forend is the Hera foregrip thing. Hold on, which one? Yeah, this one. Just like embed this into a 3D printed forearm. Because if you're 3D printing it, you can make a nice like recess with Picatinny inside. Hello, gotcha. Welcome. Gotcha, you should be proud of me. I got an optic. It's on a shotgun. The micro Uzi. Uwoozy. The Uwoozy. What if I told you? What if I told you that in the gun gotcha pawn redeem, there was the option to get both an Uwuzi and an Ahe Glock? It's about a 1 in 2,000 and some chance for each one of those. Is it the Cutlass guard Uwuzi? No, the Cutlass one is the Uzi Pro. Is your most kitted out gun now a tactical over under? No, my most kitted out gun is still XCR. The XCR just doesn't have a light because it's kind of outfitted a little more for hog hunting. So no, this is not my most kitted out gun. Although it's close. I'm pretty sure just the bipod on my XCR is more expensive than like literally all the things I've put on this gun combined. Oh yes, and it's not close. So on this gun, I replaced the stock, put on optic, put on light with pressure pad. All of that costs less than just the bipod on my XCR. This makes me cry a little bit. Light and microdot for slime, not Glock when? But then I have to buy more optics and more lights. I mean, if you're gonna put a light on that, like it's got big old suppressor on it. And so like the light beam is gonna be, it's gonna have a big old chunk missing out of it because of the suppressor. Rails and Shoddy look great. They look like something. We were talking about earlier, if suppressors are removed from the NFA, then I could make a suppressor for this that just like clamps down on the Picatinny rails on both sides of the over-under. And it probably would last like at least 2 rounds. Mount the light to a riser. It just like basically make a foregrip out of risers and just put a light on the bottom up. It's perfect. Dear ATF, this is not a vertical foregrip. This is a riser for my light to avoid suppressor shadow. I promise. I'm sure that would go very well. Although I guess people do have the like mag holders up front. And for some reason the ATF is okay with that. So who knows? Who knows? Maybe that would be okay. You have a really long light. The fact that you could hold on to it, it doesn't mean it's its primary purpose. Same logic for braces, right? Just because you could put it on your shoulder doesn't mean that was its primary purpose, right? Right? I think someone else should try that first. I will not be the one testing those waters. As soon as someone else gets a thumbs up from the ATF, though, I probably will still not be doing that. As long as you don't put finger grooves in your light mount, you should be fine. Finger grooves in your light mount. I mean, what if your risers naturally have a little bit of like waviness as you go from riser to riser? As you have like 3 risers to put your light on to avoid suppressor shadow. I don't know. We did. Oh, I'm still holding it. We also were debating whether or not I should get a 90-degree Picatinny offset and then a Picatinny to AR grip mount so I can have an uncomfortably offset A2 grip on the front of this thing. Mount a light on the base plate of the mag, like the Mall Ninja pistol knife. That probably already exists, right? Right? Mag base plate light. Strike Industries. Of course it's Strike Industries. Of course Strike Industries make this. Strike Industries already makes a base plate light. Oh, no, it's on the bottom. Oh, huh? Why? Why? Great ergonomics can be used for safety or emergency signaling. Softly illuminates short range distances. Is this to like light up where you're walking so you don't like trip on things? Why? I mean, I guess that's not like a horrible. But why? Help you find dropped mags in the dark? I guess so. I guess if you're, I don't know, if you're at like a night shoot competition or something, then your mags have lights on them if you drop them. I don't know. There's an eBay listing for an aluminum flashlight welded to the bottom of a steel pistol mag. Wait. Oh, it just popped in your mind? I was gonna say, wait, that exists? You should make it. Start your own business. Just start welding lights to the bottom of magazines. Sell them on eBay and Gunbroker. It'll be perfect. I'm sure people will buy it. This is a valid business decision. There's probably listings for things like that. There's a lot of cursed listings on eBay and Gunbroker for gun accessories. Google put an AI mode button where the all results button used to be, and I accidentally clicked it twice. AI mode? What does that even mean? AI mode? Oh, there is an AI mode. Gross. Why would they do that? What does AI mode do? Oh, it just takes you to... Interesting. It just takes you to a Google AI search page. Gross. I don't like that at all. Found this. Blackhawk forearm mag. What? Discontinued. Thank goodness. Man, if you thought suppressor shadow was bad, you're gonna have whole hand and gun shadow. Can you believe nobody bought this? I can, actually. Somehow I can believe nobody bought this. I mean, if you don't think about it very hard, this seems like it could be a good idea. The problem is then if you start using your brain, then obviously this is stupid. Because if you're going to attach a light to your body, just use like a head-mounted light, because those have existed for a long time. Sold out. What's sold out? What? What is this? What? Oh, this is not all the same gun. Is this a clamp? It's just like clamp onto the bottom of your mag for just like everything? Like the Keltec like P32. This light probably doubles the weight of that gun. It exists somewhere out there. 1911 Glock magazine base pad flashlight mount. 75. Somebody paid $75 for this flashlight mount. Somewhere out there is a FUD carrying a 1911 with a magazine mounted flashlight. Location California. Oh, seller's description. This will be good. Hey, handguns fans. I've noticed that lights are the new rage in tactical handguns. Oh, Chad, those newfangled lights on people's tactical handguns. We gotta read this in a FUD voice for sure. Hey, handgun fans, I've noticed that the lights on them are the new rage in tactical handguns and in general. I feel that this is a good idea. That said, however, I have also noticed that the typical placement of these lights under the barrel prevents the use of a normal holster. Oh. I feel this is very inconvenient. They make holsters for the lights. You get you just get a holster that can take the light. Additionally, underbarrel lights require the gun to have an integral light mounting rail, and many guns don't have this feature. This guy uses a lot of exclamation points. This new flashlight mounting system solves both problems by replacing your firearm's existing magazine base pad with a new hard anodized aluminum base plate, which has a small rail built in that mounts a quickly detachable hard anodized aluminum flashlight mounting ring. After much testing, I chose these neat little lightweight 1 watt anodized aluminum LED flashlights to complement my kit. There is no way that is a very bright flashlight. 1 watt LED flashlight. They are much more durable than Surefire. All of this means a great little flashlight stays on your favorite gun, whatever model it may be, right up until you have to reload, while your gun and flashlight combo is in your holster. The photos are just a few models, but I have flashlight mounts for the following pistols: Beretta 92/M9, Glock 17, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 33, HK 78, SIG P220, P225, 226, 228, 229, and Smith & Wesson Series 3900, 4000, 4500, 5900, and 6900. Taurus PT92, PT99, Keltec P11s, as well as 1911. Oh my goodness. I even have kits for standard and Wilson Combat style 1911 magazines. Mounting rings and base plates are available separately. And kits without the flashlight are available at reduced cost. Where do I contact this guy? Where do I find this man? Where do I find this man, chat? How old is this? I mean, I find him in California. Some human being. HK-70 is not a real gun. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know what that is. I thought it was just gonna be like some super niche Like, weird gun. What did he mean? HK78? That's gotta be a typo. What did he mean to type? There's no way he meant 70. Right? There's not a flashlight base plate for the HK VP70 out there. Right? That's not what he meant, surely. What did he mean? What HK handgun model is close to 78? Like a 1 character difference. I could just fat fingered the wrong character. No idea. This guy's been a member of gunauctions.com for 20 years. Google returns at least 2 results linking to USP for some reason. It's probably just because you typed HK. HK 78. I get boats. I get boats when I search HK 78. Fruit Salad Puncher, welcome. The Yatomatic. Nice. Matilda, you get Michaels Myers masks. Everyone gets, oh, AI mode. AI mode, HK78. According to Google AI, we have Hot Kiss HK78 eyeglasses, designer glasses for women, manufactured by Imageware. Regal Hotels International Holding, stock ticker symbol on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. HK78 Assassin Droid from the series Jaden's Adventures. We also have HK91, manufactured in 1978. HK Heckler and Koch model rack Pistol 78. What is that? I found HK78, chat. HK78 exists. I don't think I don't think he has a base magazine base plate for it. This is the HK78 though, chat. Google AI did something useful. He found a way, just welded it, attached it to the bottom of the frame. There you go, chat. There you go. That's the HK78. Sold in 2021 in Portland, Oregon. Single shot flare pistol. 12 gauge flares. There you go, chat. There's HK78. We figured it out. This guy, he's mounting flashlights on the bottom of HK flare pistols. For when you need to illuminate what you're about to illuminate before you illuminate. Exactly. You gotta be sure you're gonna illuminate the right spot before you illuminate it. Tristan, you've been looking for a light for your flare pistol? Exactly. This is a open market opportunity. I'm sure there's a lot of people with flare guns out there just wishing they had a way to mount lights on them. Because you got to illuminate what you're about to illuminate before you illuminate it. So you can be sure that your illumination is illuminating the right spot. Oh, chat, there's one coming up. There's one of these that's going to be on Gunbroker, chat. You can have your very own HK78. Listing starts on July 5th. Starting bid, $549. Still in the little baggie. Is that a bug? Is there a bug in this holster? Rare, chat. Rare. Vegas, spelled with the S as a $sign. Kid. Yeah, chat. Starting July 5th. You better bookmark that page. July 5th, the auction is going to start for the HK78. I don't know. What do we do now, chat? What do we do now? This is everything I planned. But all I had planned was mount optic. And optic is now mounted. So, oh, now I need to go take this shooting. Because clearly this is my most practical shotgun right here. Most practical. Potter Puppet Pals. Absolutely not. I hated that when it was new. Oh, Honest Outlaw is finally doing a review on the PR57. I am actually pretty curious about that. Still waiting for these to drop down to
What's up, guys? This is Chris here.
not price
and
gouger
today,
prices.
Man, we have an interesting gun for you. Today we're going to be going over a Kel-Tec. This is the brand new Kel-Tec 57. This is a very interesting design that is a departure from almost everything you probably know about semi-automatic handguns. It has trigger, it has sights, and then everything else gets a little weird. Now, the Kel-Tec 57 made quite a splash at SHOT Show this year. There was a lot of influencers talking about how good it was. And as I look at the gun, I just couldn't believe what I was seeing, so I figured I would buy one and shoot it for you guys.
I just couldn't believe that it was
now,
good.
we did pick this gun up, and it was relatively affordable, which we'll talk about here in a minute. First things first, while I was down here, I was trying to clear the gun.
It was actually affordable. We actually paid over MSRP due to high demand. To be fair, MSRP is pretty low, but most places are still $100 over it.
Talk about here in a minute. First things first, while I was down here, I was trying to clear the gun, and I kept looking for a magazine release that doesn't exist because it doesn't run magazines. It runs a clip system, sort of like M-Block clips from an M1 Garand.
It still has a magazine. It's just a fixed magazine. It's not a detachable magazine.
Now, we already have some pre-loaded up here in the clips that come with the gun. And as you can see here, they are very similar stripper clips. We set the gun in there like that, push the little tab down, and load the internal magazine. Now, that is a interesting and inconvenient design. So hopefully that comes with some pros that I'm not seeing currently. Now, the awesome part about this gun is it's stupid light. Like a lot of Kel-Tec things, there's a lot of innovation here. 20 rounds in the gun for 13 ounces is pretty impressive. 4-inch barrel. Now we have fixed sights. They're literally molded, it looks like, into the slide. But we do have a roll pin.
Man, his gun is all dinged up.
On
what did he do?
Red dot mount, it looks like back here. And then instead of the standard screws that Kel-Tec does, we have roll pins, which should theoretically hold a little more firm. So hopefully we don't have quite as many failure points. Now, as far as the trigger system goes, we run a double action trigger, which is
double
very
action only.
So not only is it a double action trigger, but it also doesn't have double strike capability. Even though it's got a big long trigger pull, you actually have to recycle it to get your big long trigger pull back. So not a thing I'm in love with right off the bat. So there's a couple things I like about it. The lightweight,
the clips
and
are cheap and available.
Very low recoil because
even
the
the
5.7
pistol
cartridge
isn't.
is
That's
very
good.
low recoil. Got a high capacity and it's got an affordable price, but it's got some features on it that we're going to have to try to get used to today. So before we do that, I do want to mention my Patriot supporters. Thank you guys very much. You guys bought this gun and you guys get to watch me suffer. If you want to support the channel, that's always the best way to do it. Just go down to the link in the description below and sign up. Also in that description is a link to a local shelter named Iowa. It's the YSS. Those kids could really use your support. Without further ado, let's find out. All right, this is going to be my first attempt at this. So it looks like we put the latch underneath here. We connect the two. And it looks like we press the rounds down into it. Hey, we do. Okay. All right,
10?
So we got 10 rounds loaded in the gun. I'm going to just try this the way it is. We're at 50 yards. Well, I can tell you, Kel-Tec knows how to mold a sight. Because, I mean, if this was off, we were fucked.
It's good that it's zeroed. I want a range like that. Just like in my backyard.
That'll take some getting used to. Do you see all the false trigger resets? So the trigger resets like a revolver, right?
Oh.
So what happens with a revolver is that you don't ride the reset, check and make sure my clip is clear. When you pull the trigger and you're trying to reset the gun,
No, you're not checking to see if your clip is clear. You're still looking into the magazine. Check to see if your gun's clear. Check the magazine. The internal fixed magazine.
you really do have to like literally go all the way out to reset. It's a cool gun, but that's the worst semi-automatic trigger I've ever had. All right, so now let's say you were in a gunfight and you have expended your 20-round magazine.
Worst semi-automatic trigger
luckily
ever,
for
you say?
You have another clip to load it like you're in the trenches. So we'll load it again.
Good thing you
don't want
got
to lose our
strong
little
thumbs.
tab here. This tab falls out, so we don't want to lose that.
Oh,
Stow our clip.
the tab just falls out the end
Kinda.
if you're not careful.
We'll shoot again.
It looks like it doesn't recoil very hard.
I hit the post.
Nice.
Well, I can't hit the plates, but I can hit the little targets at 50 yards, which is actually pretty impressive. I mean, to be honest with you, this doesn't look like a sight setup that would be very accurate, but a man-sized target at 50 yards is really all you need for a carry gun, so that's not bad.
Here we are, loading with Bubba.
Oh goodness.
Bubba, how do you load it?
Well, first you start with a simple teaspoon of bullshit. You top it off with a little bit of tomfoolery.
Definitely an improvement over a magazine, huh, Bubs?
Yeah.
Isn't it? I think that's convenient.
Who doesn't love clips,
Except
right?
if you have a malfunction, or
I mean,
if
you don't
want
have to,
shoot all
like-
the rounds in the mag, you get to eject them all with the slide. I haven't even gotten to that yet.
Push them all down
'Cause if you
against
push
the
all those
magazine
rounds in the
spring.
gun, I never even thought about that till right now. You push all those rounds in the gun, how the f do you get them out? Because like an M1 Garand's got a button, right? But this doesn't. So you're gonna have to run the slide every single round to get all the rounds out. So your capacity might
There
be
must be some way
gone
to
at
get
that
them out,
point.
right?
Is it lefty friendly?
No, it is not.
Okay. Lefties. Note.
Oh man.
What happened on that first shot?
That's odd.
I'm not
That's
trying to call you out at
odd.
all, but your first shot hit the ground like 30 feet in front of us. Like it hit the
Man,
ground
I
and
was-
skipped up into the berm.
Aiming for the back one there.
Oh, were
Like,
you
I was
really?
just,
Was
like-
it that trigger pull that pulled you down, or did the gun do that?
I think it was the trigger pull.
Okay, I didn't know what happened. I was waiting for the target. I mean, you normally shoot really good, so I didn't fucking. The first round literally was like 30 feet from the target.
This just feels so. Like I got a big palm. I don't have long fingers.
Yeah. And it's a small grip for a
And
big gun. Like it's a
it's-
thin grip.
He's
Getting
got
the hang of it though.
he's got kind
Like,
of
you're kind of like short loading.
chubby
it. You're not
fingers.
doing it from the top.
Right.
I got
If
you.
you put it in there at like an angle.
Yeah.
reloading
like
in a
the back
gunfight
end
is not a
first,
thing in
and
the
then the
vast
front
majority of
slides in
self-defense
really easy.
situations.
Okay.
That's true.
Yep.
I'm gonna break a
one of
nail.
10.
Most
I'm gonna break
self-defense
a nail.
situations do not require reloading.
And then
the rest.
Quinn
Look at the
is
rest.
gonna get mad at me.
Yeah.
Especially
break
if
my
you've got 20 rounds.
You would
Okay.
have broke your nail.
Yeah, I don't want to
The
break my
nail breaker.
Like, if you've got an
5.7.
LCP that's got like 7 rounds,
Now what do I do?
more likely to
Believe
need a
in yourself.
reload. Although still not likely.
Oh my god. It does. It is an interesting grip.
Jesus shit! That hit me in the face.
Where are they going?
The ejection pattern
It's low, right?
is not very
That
consistent.
wonderful trigger that's screwing you. I don't think you've hit one yet.
No pressure, but you haven't hit one yet.
There you go.
Oh, look.
Yep.
Look at that jerk.
Nice.
Okay.
It's a learning curve to that trigger.
Well, the recoil isn't bad. I
No,
will
the
say
recoil's
that.
not bad.
I will say that.
Oh, you can hear all the false resets on the trigger as she lets off.
Am I
There's
not
like
hitting
3
anything?
different clicks as she's letting off the trigger.
You're low. You're low. All those were low.
Are the
What-
sights
I need a
zeroed?
red dot.
The
Heavy
first
trigger
guy did
pull.
pretty
Got
well.
on it.
Come over here a minute.
This guy did pretty well.
Heavy trigger pull when you don't have a super solid grip on the gun because the grip's a little slippy. What happens is you're on target, and when you start to pull the trigger, you start to pull the sights low. And that's what keeps happening. The sights keep rocking low. Either that, or you're anticipating the recoil and you're squeezing the gun low with your left hand.
I wasn't doing any of that. It's all the gun.
I hit from 50 yards the first shot.
It's all the gun.
It's a skill issue on her part, for sure. He said that, yeah, the first guy had no problem at all with the sights.
Went in pretty
Oh, you got
far.
him in there. It went in pretty easy.
Nice.
And then the second guy, after the first shot, the rest of them were at least close. And one of those rounds, when it changes view, when he moves to the barricade, one of these rounds just like piddles out of here. Yeah, that one.
That sucks. I hit that popper twice, I think. Didn't go anywhere. The ejection pattern on this is phenomenal. Every once in a while, it'll
The
sail one
ejection
straight
of the
forward.
case exiting
Couple
was
times
me when I
it'll
don't
go
want to get out of
backward.
bed.
Sometimes it go right up in the air. Who knows? It's all the same ammo, by the way. It's
Yeah.
all Yoki.
The ejection pattern on this
You going for the popper?
seems
Yeah.
Oh, you just
very
left.
not
You just
consistent. Which I guess it is consistent with other Keltec guns. Like the P50 ejection, it literally just goes everywhere. Like if you go shoot a P50, if you dump like one mag in the P50, which is like a whole box of ammo, 50 rounds, you will have 5-7 cases like everywhere from like 10 feet straight behind you to 15 feet in front of you. So the ejection's not consistent, but it's consistent between guns with no consistency at all.
Hit it. Just left. Just right. There you
Man, I am not doing good.
Well, you hit one.
This guy's doing okay.
Nice. Thoughts?
You know what I realized during shooting this? Like taking up some of the trigger first and then like being where I want to be helped out so much.
It's called staging the trigger.
Yes,
That's what I'm doing.
gotta
too.
stage
I just
the
forgot to
trigger.
tell you guys it's a revolver technique.
Okay.
Yeah.
What a dick.
No, that's
I do that when I shoot the VP70. So the VP70, because I have it here. When I shoot the VP70, it is empty. The VP70 has a very long, horrible trigger pull when the safety's off. So it's got a long double action trigger pull, but right there, it's got a very visible wall. So when I'm shooting this gun, you pull back to the wall and then pull back the rest of the way. And I don't have to reset that. It's double action only. A restrike. So if you've got a bad trigger, long trigger pull, stage it. Then pull. The trigger looks like the moon on waning crescent. It is very identifiable. P17 ejection is consistent. Catch most of my brass in a cardboard box. I don't know. Maybe it's just their 5.7s for some reason. Anyone have the sub 2000 in 5.7 that can tell us how the ejection is on that one? Because my CP33, the ejection is also very inconsistent. Although it is generally like sideways and backwards. Definitely not as bad as the P50. The P50 ejection is literally everywhere.
Set me up to fail.
You learn shit on your own, right?
I can't know everything, but yeah, like, so what he means is empty gun, When you have the gun, you pull it almost to the rear, like that, and I set it off. You pull it almost to the rear, stage it, get your good sight picture, squeeze a little bit, and take it off. What people do with double action only revolvers, like if you have a double action only concealed carry gun and trying to hit it 25 yards, you gotta stage the trigger. All right, well, the Keltec 5.7 was an interesting gun. In some ways, better than I expected, and in some ways, exactly what I expected. The gun itself has the build quality of a Mattel toy, which I expected from Keltec. That being said, it is innovative, plastic, which is also what I expected from Keltec. Now, the gun itself sort of looks like a sewer drain up top, but it does have good texture. It actually does work. That is very simple and really...
I really want someone to make a gun with this aesthetic on the top, except full size. Because this, especially like the top front of this slide, is very like GSH 18, and I'm a big fan of that. I want it full size.
Really effective, so I got to give them props for that. Second thing with the molded sights I was very concerned about. As it turns out, though, at least mine were on. I mean, I was able to hit even C-zone targets at 50 yards, so the sights definitely did what they were supposed to do. We have a rail at the bottom here for a light or a laser, which is cool. You can use it for home defense if you want. We have optics mounting system here with a roll pin, which I didn't mess with, but I will for the review. If you're wondering why my hands are so muddy, it's...
Roll pin optics mounting? Hold on. Say that again?
Here with a roll pin, which I didn't mess with, but I...
What? How? All right, chat. We got to mount our optics with roll pins now.
I will for the review. If you're wondering why my hands are so muddy, it's because I also did the Springfield today, and we did a mud test on that. So if you haven't watched that yet, go watch that. But I didn't clean off because we're still outside. Now, the trigger system is interesting. I would say probably the second worst part about the gun. Now, the trigger is a double action only trigger, and you pull the trigger, it breaks all the way back here, very similar to like a double action SIG 226 or something like that. But instead of getting a crisp single action after that, you have to go all the way back out to the reset.
That is a very long
reset. Now, downside
reset.
to that obviously is rate of fire. So your rate of fire is going to be incredibly diminished by the length of the trigger. Unless you're Jerry Mitchell, like you're not shooting double action only that fast. The second thing that it does is cause user-induced malfunctions. So what I mean by that is I'm shooting the gun and I pull the trigger and the round goes off. The second time I shoot the gun, since I'm so used to shooting any other semi-automatic pistol on Earth, I try to reset the trigger and it doesn't work. I get nothing here. I got to go all the way back out and do it again. You get that false reset and you end up kind of jamming that trigger with nothing happening.
From the clicks, it sounds like there's a couple
especially
false
if you
resets.
have one gun, you'll be used to that reset. So you could definitely make that work. Add that to the positives of it only being 13 ounces, being very, very tiny, which is nice. I mean, it's not a small gun. You definitely couldn't pocket carry this. But as far as the weight,
you don't know how big my pockets are.
Lightweight. And for a capacity of 20 rounds, that's respectable.
I can fit a whole 1911 in my cargo pants
is
pockets.
This right here. Now, originally when I saw this gun at SHOT Show, I thought it was because it was California compliant. I was like, internal magazine, that's good, right? Because you get 20 rounds in Cali. But you can't do that.
To make it thinner and lighter.
Oh, I got you. Okay,
and it's still not California compliant.
Oh,
it's
I got
not
you.
even remotely California compliant.
At least from what I know right now. You might correct me in this video, but I don't think this is any more compliant than a standard.
Does the internal fixed magazine make this compliant anywhere that has magazine capacity restrictions? Like, is there anywhere that specifically says that the capacity restriction is only for detachable magazines? Looking it up, the roll pins hold the back of the slide to the rest of the tube. You don't remove the roll pins to install a red dot. Okay. That's good.
Magazine fed gun. And where the downsides come in is number one, you don't have a magazine. And magazines are a very useful tool. And why all other semi-automatic handguns use magazines is because of number one, the reload is much quicker.
Yep.
I'm gonna break a nail. I'm gonna break a nail.
Number two, when you carry a magazine with ammunition in it, you use the magazine and then dispose of the magazine. So you don't have to keep these things and like reload them in your pocket or anything like that. And the third thing.
What? I don't dispose of my magazines? I keep them and reuse them later. What? Hold on. These are much more disposable than a magazine.
Is if you have a malfunction in the gun, I have no idea how you'd even clear the malfunction. Maybe lock the slide back and try to make it work, push the internal magazine down. But on top of that, if you want to unload the gun, you have to literally unload it by racking the slide over and over and over again, because there's no like unload process because there's an internal magazine. Now, the biggest problem with this is
There's
not
gotta
even
be-
those mild inconveniences.
There's got to be some way to unload this, right? There's got to be some way. Celtic did say they went with internal magazines to keep it slim and we're not playing legal games for silly states. I mean, I know that they said that. I was just wondering, like, even though it wasn't made to be playing legal games, if it happened to by chance.
The biggest problem is that it's just a pain in the ass to load the thing. So you have to load them in the clips first, just like you would load a magazine, but it's harder to load the clips. And on top of that, then you have to push them down into the gun, which a magazine is so much easier to load and rack really quickly than this thing is to use. And then if you also have a magazine, you don't lose this little tab right here, which you can easily lose with these things. So honestly, I feel like I shot this and it's an interesting gun. And if you want to buy it because it's like a piece of trash history, then I guess go ahead.
A
You
piece of
might
trash
have a reason for
history?
this. You might really want a pseudo pocket gun with 20 rounds of 5.7. If that's the case, then this is really the only game in town. Very light, very small, and 5.7 has a very low recoil. So even though the trigger kind of sucks, it's still easy to shoot because it's a very low recoil impulse. 13 ounces and having that low recoil impulse is very impressive. There's some impressive things about the gun, but overall I feel like the operation pretty much just deads all those things in the water for me. I feel like you made the gun 15 ounces even, add 2 more ounces and make it magazine fed, that gun would be an excellent gun. So I hope that they learn from this and that you
No, don't do that. Make it full size and give it a lever to just chuck out all the ammo. Make it rain 5.7.
use the same sort of idea to make a very lightweight, high-capacity magazine. But if you even downloaded me to 18 rounds and gave me magazines, I'd be much happier. It's an okay gun. It's just not for me. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please support your local homeless shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later.
Interesting. It's not surprising that the guy who really likes guns for their practicality was not a huge fan of it. I didn't know that their little like clip things just fell apart when they weren't full of ammo. That seems a little weird. Dead gun. Hard to find in stock and over MSRP everywhere. Yeah. Yeah. I probably will still get one of those little Keltec 5.7s as soon as they're not over MSRP. Like, as soon as they start dipping below MSRP, I'll probably pick one up. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm not picking up one of those Keltecs because I think it's good. I'm doing it because it's weird, and I like that. It's weird, it's new, it's different. Not like that. Weird, new, and different is important to me. By that logic, Zip 22 isn't a dead gun. Yeah, but the Keltec PR57 is still being manufactured. The Zip gun is not. What about a CZ pistol instead? Why would I get a CZ instead of the cool, funny Keltec? I mean, there are CZ pistols that I find like mildly interesting. Like one of the like classic CZ75s, pretty cool. CZ better for the money. Do you do you see the guns on the table? I have a tactical over-under, a helical magazine, ginormous pistol renowned for how bad it is, and a Glock style pistol with an active reset trigger in it. If I was going for the best for the money, I would have none of these guns. I buy guns because they tickle my tism. They give me the good brain buzz, little brain wiggles, you know? Buy guns cause cool. 5.7 CZ when? Like a CZ 75, low bore axis 5.7. It would probably sell really well. 5.7 Calico when? Calico would have to design a new magazine. Calico might be able to repurpose the 22 mag into a 5.7 magazine. Maybe. .57 Glock. The Glock 50 is going to be a 5.7. I don't know that. I'm just guessing. I'm guessing Glock 50, 5.7 Glock. 5.7 double defense. You probably could make a chamber insert to shoot 5.7. There's a lot of 12 gauge chamber inserts to shoot different calibers. There we go. Let's see what can we change calibers to? Oh, there we go. Oh no. Wait, caliber cartridge conversion sleeve 30-06 to 32 ACP. Okay, you want to shoot 32 out of your 30-06 guns? There you go. Does Heiser make 5.7 barrel? I don't think so. I think they only make ridiculous things. There's a lot of 12 gauge to different calibers. You got 12 gauge to 45 Colt, 12 gauge 22, 12 gauge to 357, 12 gauge to 44, 12 gauge to 9mm. There's many of them. There's many of them. You could probably make a 5.7. So Heiser makes 7.62 by 39, 5.56. .45 Colt /410, and the PKO 45, which is their semi-automatic version. to be honest, I don't think I have ever seen... Does the PKO 45 actually exist? Huh? They have a video on it. They have a video on it. 32 ACP out of 30 got 6. Why? I would imagine because 32 ACP is cheaper per round and less recoil. Why can I count the pixels in this? Oh, max quality 240p? Well, way to use copyrighted music, Heiser. It does not look comfortable. Oh, these are like 7, 8-year-old videos.
Today I'm out in the beautiful Sonoran
Well, I hope you like your left ear, chat. I hope you like your left ear.
Desert southeast of Tucson, and I'm ringing out the brand new Heiser Defense PKO 45. That's right, a subcompact semi-auto pistol, chambered for the mighty 45 ACP cartridge. It's quite a gun. I've been a gun rider a long time, in fact, about 25 years. And this pistol has some innovations I've never seen before.
My right ear is feeling lonely. Feeling lonely.
They've managed to create a semi-auto
Everything's
pistol
left ear.
that works that's just 0.8 of an inch thick. Slide frame, back strap, yet it's chambered for the 45 ACP. It's blowback in operation.
That sounds miserable.
Believe it or not, this gun's blowback in operation. I know what you're thinking. Blowback, it must have a tremendously hard recoil spring. Not so.
Oh,
In
that's
fact, most of the women that I've handed this gun to were able to easily chamber around. Just a
that
single
does
recoil
not
spring on
give
top
confidence.
there. It's small diameter, it's tightly wound, and you can see the recoil spring guide sits well above the bore. One of the things that makes this gun so controllable, despite the fact that it's blowback in operation, is the low bore access.
That doesn't
The 2
look
3/4 inch
terribly
barrel
low.
there is fixed. There's no locking mechanisms at all. Yet because it sits so low in the hand, recoil is straight back. Not a lot of muzzle flip, not much torque.
What do you mean not a lot of torque? That weight is so high up there. And it's direct blowback. I don't believe him. I don't believe
In
him.
fact, control-wise, we set up a target. I fired 10 magazine fulls of 45 ACP as quick as I could pull the trigger, 5 yards, and I was able to keep all those rounds inside the A box.
That's as
of
fast as you can pull the
standard
trigger?
USPSA target.
That's not very fast.
Very controllable. Accuracy-wise, at 10 yards, I'm shooting 2-inch groups offhand at about 10 yards, even if the hot defense ammo. Everything I've put in this gun works so far. Capacity is 5+1. The gun also comes with an extended mag that offers 7+1 capacity.
7+1?
Some
That's
of the
not
innovative
as bad as I
features
thought
that
it was
you'll
gonna
see
be.
on this gun are the grip safety right there on the front strap. The gun
Oh. Oh, that looks like the worst grip safety ever. And there's some bad grip safeties out there.
won't fire unless that's actually depressed. You never notice it when you're shooting a gun though. It just does not bother you at all. Great gun. I really enjoyed shooting it. I enjoyed how controllable it was. I'm looking for the right holster here. Once these get on the market, there's going to be a
Good luck. Good luck, my good sir, finding a holster. Great vid that is less glazing. That's what
Today
we
on
need.
Gunbelievable, we're taking a look at
Gunbelievable. 9 months ago. Oh, this is a much more recent video.
Today on Gunbelievable, we're taking a look at the PKO-45 from Heiser Defense. It's supposed to be the slimmest .45 caliber pistol on the market, at just 0.8 inches thick, making it good for concealed carry. But it's also tiny and blowback operated. Tiny blowback guns like this Walther PPK-S have a bad rep for being snappy and painful to shoot, and they usually fire 380.
PPKs aren't
This
bad.
fires 45 ACP. Sounds like a terrible idea, but I had to know for myself. Since this gun was first announced in late 2015, it's been seen at a couple SHOT shows and in some industry puff pieces, but there's no in-depth critical coverage of it anywhere. Let's fix that. Picking this thing up, the first thing you'll notice is how heavy it is. This thing is solid. It feels like a brick. When
That's
fully
good.
loaded with the smaller 5-round magazine,
Being heavy, I would imagine, helps it a lot. This is probably a chunk of steel.
it weighs 32.8 ounces. I have another gun that weighs 32.8 ounces fully loaded, and that's this Glock 19, which is way bigger, holds 15 in the magazine, 3 times more, and it has a red dot on top. So to say the PKO-45 is dense is putting it mildly. Size-wise, it's small. It's about the size of a Glock 43, a little more bulbous, but it's also a 1/4 inch thinner. It's a bit big for pocket carry, but if you have cargo pockets, I guess it's possible. However, it weighs so much that you're gonna have visible sagging. Moving on to the grip, it's big enough to give you purchase, and it doesn't feel quite as thin
That's
as
a
it is.
very
It doesn't
small
feel
grip.
twisted.
That looks like the same size grip as the actual, like, not semi-auto Heiser that I have. Looks about the same size. Barely a 2 full finger grip. And I've got pretty skinny fingers.
Quite as thin as it is, it doesn't feel twisty in the way some other ultra-thin handguns do. It's smooth, but not slippery. Definitely not the most form-fitting, ergonomic shape in the world, but for what it is, it's alright. I do kinda like the way the semi-beaver tail rests on top of the hand. When I first saw the back of the slide, I wondered if this silver piece was
Gotcha-sized
the
grip.
hammer, kinda like on the Boberg/Bond.
Yo! Oh, that's the Bond Arms version. I was about to be
full-top
excited.
pistols, but nope, just a fixed blade. Despite the hex head screws and roll pins everywhere, a bit of a Keltec aesthetic going on, the build quality is quite good. The mag release button travels
Keltec
smoothly,
aesthetic?
mags pop free.
They would never make
Slide
something
glides
with that
really
much metal.
smoothly, good machining, nice big serrations and wings at the back to help you manipulate it, which are necessary because the spring in this thing is quite stiff. Usually is on a blowback gun.
That is exactly the opposite of what that old guy said. The old guy was like, oh yeah, this is a super light spring, super easy to pull back. This guy's here talking about how heavy the spring is.
But it's even more necessary in 45. Your slide lock is here. It's low profile, which means it won't snag, but also means it's hard to actuate. I put a little grease on the rear angled surface there that catches the slide, and that's made it easier to drop the slide on a new mag. There's a safety on the side, which is ambidextrous and prominent enough to be easy.
What's different about the Bond Arms version? Well, just obviously aesthetic-wise, they slapped their logo and markings giant and bold all over it. But they also went to a dual recoil spring system instead of the single recoil spring of the original. They changed the design just a little bit though.
Easy to swipe down, but not so much that it might catch on clothes. Unfortunately, it's the only ambi thing on this gun. The slide lock isn't, and the mag release is neither ambi nor reversible. On the right-hand side, the extractor doubles as a loaded chamber indicator, which works fine. Unusually, there's a grip safety.
Loaded chamber.
And it's in the front. You don't see many of those.
California
The
legal?
spring on it is not stiff, but it's just a little more springy than you might expect. I'll come back to that. The trigger looks like a 1911, but it doesn't pull straight back. It pivots from the top. A little bit of take up before the wall. Brake is somewhat crisp, but you'll feel it creep a bit if you pull slowly or pay attention. It's probably 6 pounds-ish. Not much over travel. Good reset, short and audible, takes you right back to the wall. There's an accessory rail at the front, but it's proprietary, and I
This
don't think
looks
anything
like-
was ever made that was compatible with it. Sights are basic fiber optics, red and back.
Looks like a
green in front.
compact gun
I'm not
from
sure what kind of
some,
dovetail
like,
this is for the
weird
sights, but
sci-fi
it looks
movie.
like a 1911 cut of some kind. If you do replace the sights, you'll want to be careful because the manual specifies that this gun takes special sights that are spelled S-I-T-E, not S-I-G-H-T. No way to mount an optic. Slide is far too thin for that.
Good-
But if you
good
figure out what
job,
the dovetail
Heiser.
cut is, you might be able to get one of those adapter plates that replaces the rear sight with a red dot mount. You get 2 magazines, a flush-fitting 5-rounder and an extended 7-rounder. And I'm guessing there's some other manufacturers' 1911 magazines, either cut short or with a sleeve added on. Build quality here is less impressive. This sleeve flapping around loose is really low effort. As soon as you drop this mag on the ground, that sleeve might go flying somewhere, you'll never get it again. And these capacities
That's
are
pretty
not
standard
good.
for magazine
This Glock
sleeves.
43 has a tiny mag extension on it, but it's still about equal in size to the Heiser, yet this gun holds a total of 9 rounds compared to the Heiser's 6. A SIG P365 has the same footprint, but holds even more at 11 total. Stepping up to the 7-round magazine, it makes the grip way, way longer, and the grip is often the most difficult part of the gun to conceal. Disassembly.
Ooh, that does not look like that lines up well with the grip of the gun. And that looks a little pointy on the palm of your hand. I don't like that.
Disassembly of the PKO45 is pretty easy. Verify it's empty, of course, then turn the pin and remove it. As soon as you pull it out all the way, the recoil spring guide above the barrel is going to want to fly out, so I'll prevent that by pointing the gun down against the table while I do this. Slide comes right off, and you're done. The fixed barrel is a clue that mechanically, it's straight blowback. There is nothing keeping the breech closed except the slide's mass. And
What is that? Is that sand?
very uncommon in 45 ACP pistols, especially so in a gun this small. It's also unusual how the recoil spring is placed above the barrel, but other than that, this is exactly what you'd expect from an internal hammer-fired blowback pistol. Reassembly is the same
Clean
in
your
reverse.
gun.
Just put the
Why is
slide
there
back
sand
on,
in it?
insert the recoil spring at its guide rod, push the pin through, rotate into place. Shooting the PKO45 was a real surprise. Compact, blowback 45, it should be the meanest, nastiest, snappiest pocket rocket, and it just wasn't. It's
Really?
punchy for sure, but I was thinking
That
I'd
is
be sick of
very
it after about
surprising.
5 rounds, and it ended up being more like 50. I'm not quite sure how Heiser did it. The immense weight probably helps, the low bore axis probably does too, and the grip doesn't have any sharp corners to dig into my hands. Again, it's unpleasant, but it's less unpleasant than some 380s I've shot, and that's a real feat. There were problems though. Take a look at my very first shots ever through the gun. I'm getting malfunctions, the trigger isn't resetting. Turns out it's the grip safety messing with me. I'm pulling the trigger, the gun recoils, it shifts around in my hand a
Grip
little
safety.
bit. The grip safety comes away from my fingers.
Zip tie that
Then
thing
when I
down.
let the trigger forward, it gets hung up. It can't reset all the way unless the grip safety is fully depressed. You could call this user error, but I don't entirely
That sounds
agree.
like horrible design.
Take a look at how my fingers
The trigger
wrap around
doesn't
the gun.
reset.
Because the grip has got this long and thin shape, my fingers naturally want to bend right in front of the safety, which creates a gap. And then when my support hand comes in for a squeeze, that tightens the bend in that particular knuckle and it doubles the effect. It also doesn't help that the spring on the grip safety is a little springier than it could be, helping push my fingers away from it. It's not hard for me to make myself to press the grip safety all the way, it's just a little unnatural. I could train on it, but it seems like the sort of thing that's easy to goof under pressure, and that's not what I want in a carry gun. If your fingers are a different length, you may not have this problem, but for me, it's a concern. Once I figured
Potato,
out the
I
grip
hate that you
safety
don't
issue, the
hate
gun ran
this
better, but I still had a
abomination.
couple more
How much?
malfunctions. There
We'll
were
get
some
there in just a
failures to
second.
lock open when empty that might have been down to my fingers again. If you ride that safety hard, which is what people are often taught to do to make sure it's off, then your thumb is basically in the perfect position to interfere with the slide stop. It seems like a basic failure of ergonomics to me. I had a couple other
that's not
failures to lock
uncommon.
open that weren't down to my fingers, and one failure to feed. The manual says the gun has a break-in period of about 200 rounds. I think that's true. The malfunctions did go away with hot ammo, and they decreased over time, which is a clue that the gun might be breaking in. In my opinion, guns shouldn't need break-in periods, but this one seemingly does. No issue with hollow points, but my round count is low, and most of it was ball ammo. So don't take my word for it, always test your carry ammo. Couple more quirks to mention. A live trigger can actually get pinned behind the grip safety. Watch this. Press the grip safety, pull the trigger partially, let go of the grip safety. Trigger then gets stuck halfway pressed and is still pullable. This could bite a shooter with bad habits.
Whoa.
Maybe you're at the range, you take a breather, you let go of the trigger and the grip safety in the wrong order, then you pick it back up again, you assume the grip safety is still protecting you, but it's definitely not. It's one of many reasons why I don't think anyone should get in the habit of relying on safeties. Another thing I noticed, this ambi safety only takes a little
This
bit of
grip
movement
safety
before it
seems
will
like it
allow
makes
trigger
things
press.
less safe.
I'm talking only a quarter of this red mark has to be visible. Also, if the hammer isn't cocked, then the safety will prevent you from racking the slide, but if the hammer is cocked, it won't. Do with that what you will. So who is this gun for? What sort of person chooses this over the popular carry guns of the last couple decades?
Yo, who is this guy? What a legend.
Carry guns of the last couple
I need all of them. Except maybe that one.
decades. I suspect it's somebody who believes the 45 ACP cartridge is so powerful the capacity doesn't matter. One shot will do it. I think it's somebody who's never carried concealed much, certainly not on a daily basis, so he perceives the weight not as a downside, but as a sign of quality. I think he thinks red dots are a gimmick. I think he thinks appendix carry is dangerous. You'll blow your drunk off. So he sticks to the traditional 3 o'clock position where printing is a big problem and thinness helps.
And
In
3
other
o'clock
words,
is more
this gun is for
comfortable.
the sort of FUD who fetishizes the 1911, holding onto an obsolescent cartridge, obsolescent sights, and obsolescent holsters. In fact, at SHOT Show 2018, a Heiser rep essentially admitted as much, saying that the number one buyer for this gun is a 1911 fan who wants to carry something tighter to the body.
Oh, they got the silver and blue Taurus back there. They got the Miku Taurus in the background.
I guess there are a few buyers out there like that, but the rest of the world is moving on to better things. In sum, this gun appeals to an ever-shrinking niche audience. It's quirky, it has some issues, and it's about double the price of its competitors with an MSRP in the upper 3 digits. No wonder you haven't heard of it. I wondered how popular these things are, so I looked all over the internet, and I couldn't find a single one with a 4-digit serial number. The highest I've seen was in the 800s. So I'm guessing they made maybe 1,000 of these, tops, and that might be all there will ever be because I suspect it might have helped put Heiser out of business. As of now, their
Heiser's
website
out of
is still up,
business?
but it looks to me like distributors have been out of stock of all of their guns for a long time now. I've tried to get a hold of Heiser every which way, phone, email, social media. I get nothing. I hope
That's
I'm
so
wrong,
sad.
but I wouldn't bet on it. That's it from Gunbelievable on the PKO 45 from Heiser Defense. Smash that like button, make sure to subscribe. If I get 1 million subs, I'll review a gun that's actually good.
1 million subs? Okay, got it. A little ways away. You recommend checking out the rest of his videos? Alright, Heiser PKO. How much were these originally supposed to be selling for? I don't remember how much it was, but I remember it was a lot more than I thought it should be. $8.99. These had an MSRP of $8.99. There you go. And it does look like they are out of stock everywhere. They made it in purple? They made it in purple, chat. There's... Okay. Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. Heiser PKO 45. Very rare. New in box. $2,400. No shot. No shot. These had an MSRP of $900. Excuse me. $2,400 is literally insane. He knows what he got chambered in a mighty 45 ACP. Only accepts money orders. You consider it for 300. I would consider it. I'm gonna be honest. I would consider it for like sub $600. Sub $600. I would consider one. Just because it's such a weird little thing. Tristan, you'd be hard pressed at $50. Yes, basically what we're saying is, even myself, who was willing to pay the most for it, was still at like around a fifth of the price that this guy wants for it. That's awful. No one's gonna pay that much for that thing. Oh, this guy doesn't have a lot of videos. Oh, he's got videos on all the cool things though. By which I mean all the terrible things. How many of these do I own? 2? I own 2 of these. How many of these have I almost bought? I have bought these 2. I have almost bought one of these, and I still would like one of these. I have not almost bought one of these, but I kind of want one now. I've almost bought a Remington R51 a few times. Lifeguard and the Terra. I have also almost bought both of those. It has no name. Some of them do. The Black Vidois has a name. It's not, you know, on there anywhere. It just has it. R51 is so sexy looking. Yeah, it's too bad that it is known for having out-of-battery detonations. Other than the out-of-battery detonations, it's probably a pretty good gun. Yeah, it looks like you can get a Remington R51 for like $300 on Gunbroker currently. His outro video is how I found out rifling is only legally rifling and doesn't do anything. So if you drop a 9mm bullet down an Altor barrel, does it just fall out the other side? Like, does it do literally nothing? Does it like not even contact the bullet? I was looking to see if I had just a 9mm bullet in here, and I do not. I only have the whole 9mm. I guess we can. I'm not going to load this gun. We can grab our 9mm. Zoom. It does seem like it does make contact with the rifling. So you can see there, possibly, there is a bit of jacket that doesn't just fall through. So the rifling does make contact, at least a little bit, because otherwise that would just disappear into there, up to the casing, and it does not. So the rifling does at least contact the bullet. Practically smoothbore, as the rifling is very shallow, only has 2 lands. Yeah, I'm not saying it's wonderful rifling. It is very much not. The whole 9mm, that's a lot and big. It's true. 9mm is a lot. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise, chat. maybe the threaded model has better rifling to avoid baffle strikes. That is also possible. These are also more expensive. So I would imagine that it still wouldn't make sense to have an entirely new manufacturing process for the barrels, though, just for ease of manufacturing. And I mean, if you look down, here, the rifling, I don't know if you can see it at all in the camera. Like, can you see the rifling at all in the camera? Like, it is there, but it is barely not smoothbore. Oh. The rifling is there. No, you can't see it at all. It is very hard to see. But it is there. So I don't know. I wouldn't think that they would have a different manufacturing process. They probably just take the same barrels and like nitride coat them or something. Always looks like a hot glue gun to me. Hot glue guns are much higher quality than an Altor pistol. I don't know. I do need to start making YouTube videos, honestly. I need to make YouTube videos about all my stupid guns, chat. All my stupid and less stupid. Not all my guns are bad. Not all my guns are awful. A lot of them are, though. I'll admit. I still need to. There's a video that I actually want to make. I need to make a video about a gun that I don't have. I need to make a video about the stink Gepard. I don't remember how it's pronounced. Hold on. I looked up the pronunciation at one point. I don't remember.
Gepard.
Gepard. Gepard. Bulgarian?
Gepard.
Gepard. Gepard.
Gepard.
Gepard.
Gepard.
Gepard.
Gepard.
Gepard.
Gepard.
Oh, that guy definitely ends it with more of a T than a D sound.
Gepard.
That guy does like a D sound at the end. The vocalization of the last consonant is different.
Gepard.
Gepard.
Hepard.
Hepard. That's Ukrainian.
Hepard.
Hepard. Hepard.
Gepard.
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 Gepard. That's Russian.
Gepard.
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 Gepard. Does that sound good? Chad, does that sound like Russian? Does it sound like I know Russian?
Gepard.
Gepard. Gepard. It's definitely like an unvoiced consonant at the end, right? It's more of a T than a D sound.
Gepard.
It's kind of like half voiced, like a half voiced consonant. Gepard. Gepard. I don't know Russian, but I'm pretty good at copying noises. Which is why I can say CZ's actual name. Cheska Zbrojovka. Ukrainian and Russian speech still confuses your ears? Yes. I would imagine that it wouldn't take very long learning Russian or Ukrainian for it to sound less insanely jumbled. But I know none, so... Man, now my now my YouTube feed is full of horrible guns. Remington R51, Taurus Curve, Heiser PKO45. YouTube feed blessed with horrible guns. All right, chat. I'm gonna be honest. It's after midnight. This compared to how long streams have been going recently, it's not very late. But we did also start on time today, which is a little crazy. Starting on time. How could I? On time stream, chat. Celebrate. Happy D-Day. Is it D-Day anniversary? I don't know. 6/6. Yep, June 6th. It's the anniversary of D-Day today. I don't know. I don't know if happy is the right emotion for D-Day, but it is D-Day day. So, however you wish someone a happy holiday without saying the word happy. How do you wish someone a holiday? Operator Grizz
_VT just traded with 18 viewers.
Hello Grizz and Raiders. How's it going? Welcome. What were you doing? Seen just chatting. I think I saw you doing some art early in your stream. But hello, welcome. How was stream? Were you? I would say, were you winning? That only works if people are playing a game, I think. art and watching Wendigoon covering COD 1 through 3. That sounds very interesting. Louis suggested Grizz raid me. Much appreciated. Very much appreciated. Hello, Grizz. Hello, Raiders. Hello, I am the X-Count. VTuber. If you like guns, we have guns here. You might be able to tell we have guns of a bit of a stranger variety. So today we mounted an optic on a tactical over-under shotgun. Because why not? We also have the Calico pistol and Cursed custom Glock 17L with active reset trigger. Please, what am I seeing of this over-under? So this over-under, this is a Stoeger double defense tactical over-under shotgun imported from Brazil, which apparently I should have an affinity for Brazilian guns. I have been learning. This is not attached. This is we were theorizing with this because there's no Picatinny rail on the bottom of this. So we were theorizing that I could get a 90-degree Picatinny offset and then a Picatinny to AR grip converter, because there are people who put AR grips as foregrips on their guns, and then attaching this as an awkwardly offset cursed foregrip on this gun. But this is not attached. This is just set here as to look cursed. You like Brazilian stuff? You'll be calling Call Me Dick about this one. It's okay. Call Me Dick has already reprimanded me for liking Brazilian guns. I have a few Brazilian guns. Foregrip should be mounted at 9 o'clock position, like HK21. Mounted on the side. The other side, I guess. This is 3 o'clock. You gonna see Brazilian guns? By any chance, you happen to get your hands on the infamous Pentagun? Pentagun? What is the infamous Pentagun? Tristan, hello on Kick. Brazilian guns right here. Oh, we've got this one. We've got this one within arm's reach if I reach. So this is one of my favorite Brazilian guns right here. Or that I have. Brazilian PCC. Taurus. Yeah, we got Taurus. Why does the stock look like that? Which stock look like what? Pentagon from Brazil is a 5-round revolver shotgun from a company called Enarme. I mean, I have a Taurus Judge. It's a 5-shot revolver shotgun. It's just 410. There's also the Circuit Judge, which is an actual revolver shotgun length thing. But this here is the Taurus CT9. I have to hold it awkwardly because I don't want to set it on things. I guess I could. We can carefully set it on top of things. This is a Taurus import version of the Taurus SMT, which is a few generations derivative of the Famé. And so I modified it to take Famé magazines because it comes with proprietary 10-round mags. You didn't know Taurus made a PCC? They did, and theoretically they're making another one. They had it at... Did they have it at SHOT Show, or was that just at IWA? I don't remember. Rifle length revolver shotgun that breaks open at the top, and it uses FAMAS style handles as plunger for spent shells. Looks like a ripoff of HK UMP. It does definitely have the same style stock, and that is because you got to have that to import it. This means it's a sporting gun because import laws are stupid. And I'm still trying to source an actual folding SMT stock for it, but I have not been able to find one yet. Oh, I've seen this gun. Not in real life. But yeah, okay. Okay, I've seen this before.
Welcome back to H3 Weapon Deep Dive. It's Revolver,
H3
right?
VR. Okay, I've seen this. I thought this was a Pancor gun. Is this not Pancor? Is this... Huh? Huh? Interesting. Nope, it's N-Arm in Brazil. Interesting. N-Arm Pentagon. It has a very short Wikipedia page. Single paragraph. It has Pancor vibes. It does. It has very strong Pancor vibes. That's why I didn't know it was Brazilian. Interesting. And that FAMAS charging handle is what you use to pop spent shells out. So that's your ejector. That's kind of neat, actually. It's kind of cool. I gotta admit. Turkey. Hey, Turkey. Turkey, if you import one of these, I'll buy it. As long as it's 12 or 20 gauge. Go the short barrel version. It's kind of a chonky stock, though. Slim down that a little bit. Make it more like A1 style stock. That's kind of neat, though. That's kind of neat. If Turkey makes one and imports it, I'd probably buy it. I'd probably buy it. If Brazil makes it again and imports it, I'd probably buy it as well. See, what was oh, and somebody asked about Taurus PC. What's the new Taurus PCC called? The Taurus RPC, I think. Yes, the Taurus RPC.
We're here tuning in from Nuremberg.
So, new Taurus PCC, obviously not imported yet. I think, if I remember correctly, I believe that this lost the contract for which city? It was one of the big Brazilian city police. They lost the contract to Springfield and the Kuna with this. Sao Paulo? Sao Paulo. Yes, that's the one, I think.
Nuremberg, Germany, IWA 2025.
Okay, so this was
I'm at Taurus booth,
in Ewa.
and they've got something brand new, just unveiled. In fact, it is a concept, kind of prototype. It's not even ready yet, and 9mm.
Look at that thing. Look at that. That's pretty hot. That's pretty hot. And it's a Taurus out of Brazil. They got Kuna in 40 Smith & Wesson. In Brazil, they do. In Brazil, they got the Kuna in 40. Here, we have it in 9. Yeah, I'm saying this goes pretty hard. This goes hard. I'd buy one of these. Now, in the US, it probably would be imported as a pistol without the cool PDW brace or PDW stock. I definitely would get the stock, though. I'd SBR it. Taurus! Taurus! Give it to me. OEM stock or nothing? Yes. There are many guns. Many guns that I would buy if I could get the OEM stock. For example, the Springfield Kuna, the HS Kuna, the Chiappa CBR9. I would buy a Chiappa CBR9 if I could get the stock for it. Unfortunately, those are near unobtainium. Love the Kuna, but the braced Kuna ugly. Yeah. Braces in general, with very few exceptions, are ugly. I don't like them. I understand the function to be able to brace your pistol, whether it be on your forearm or your shoulder. But they're ugly. They're so bad. I hate them so much. New short compared Kuna with Strybog. The Kuna and Strybog very similar. Actually, gun news. Gun news. We've got gun news. Matador Arms, who, if you've been around here for a while, know that I am a big fan of a product that they will be releasing and have not yet. But Matador Arms announced a new roller delayed upper. By roller delay, I do mean not HK style roller delay, but Kuna Strybog style roller delay. Louis, you just reminded me of it because of that. So, Matador Arms, new roller delay guns dropping end of the month. Which is pretty cool. I do like not the Glock mags. The Glock mag ones are gross. But ooh. Look at those things. They look good. They're good looking guns. Not the Glock mag ones. 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 That one looks good. Integrally suppressed. MP5 style mag. Yes. Hold on. Where? Show me a picture of the bullpup. Oh yeah, they also make this. They make the Helldivers gun. They make the Helldivers SMG. It's like the Stizen, except better, because it's not trying to be a Bison. But it's got helical mag. They got that one as well. Big fan of that one. Show me the bullpup. Where is the bullpup? There it is. Friendly Anarchist. Personally love straight or slightly tilted mags SMGs. APC 9. APC 9 is pretty good. I really hate Glock mags in PCCs. Like with a burning passion. It's awful, and you cannot convince me otherwise. It's ugly and not very functional, and there's so many better options. But there we go. So here's the Matador bullpup. This one obviously is very tricked out. You got suppressor underneath the handguard, straight Colt mags. It's beautiful. The grip, not a huge fan of the grip that's angled slightly forward. My mind may change once I have one, but I fully expect to change out this grip. And there's the Glock mag one, which just looks inferior to all of the other ones. If you want it to be cheap, just use CZ Evo mags, like everyone who's sane. Colt mag superiority. You are... keep in mind, you are talking to someone who modified a $400 Taurus PCC to take FAME mags, which are harder to find than the gun. So do keep that in mind when you're talking about practicality here. I don't want to, discourage the conversation, but just keep in mind. Your dream is Banshee running Colt mags, or just S&T bringing in Daewoo K7. I need S&T immediately. We looked up on stream a few days ago where S&T is importing to. Both their actual business location and their mailing office. Their mailing office is literally some random house in a suburban area. So we doxed whoever that was on stream. And their actual headquarters is in Nevada at a already existing fabrication shop. I did intend to actually call the fabrication shop and see if they would tell me anything. I doubt they would, but I'm curious. Yeah, S&T does need to bring in everything. And they have said, if you go back and look at the SHOT Show interviews, the guy at SHOT Show did say that they were starting with, the popular ones, like the K2 and the modern version, which is just the K2 but with rails and stuff. K13, that's the one I was thinking of. I think. Yeah, they did say they want to bring in everything, which yes. Bring me the K15. Bring me the K15. Do you know how fast I will buy a K15? As long as it's not like $10,000 like FN asks for their belt feds. K15 plus FRT. Yes. I want to own the entirety of SNT's product line. We'll see. Well, hopefully they're still making progress. Probably one of the big hurdles they have to get through is, well, the two big hurdles they have to get through are exporting firearm parts from Korea is going to be a big hurdle for them, as well as importing into the United States, because both the Korean government and the ATF are not in a hurry to get anything done ever. K7 is raw. Which one is the K7? Oh, K7 is the SMG. Yes, yes. Which one is the revolver? I know Daewoo made a revolver. I don't remember. No, they have a revolver. Which one is it? I don't remember which one it is. I don't know. Daewoo has a revolver. SR7. The Daewoo SR7 is a microwave. I don't know. I don't remember which one it is. When I typed in Daewoo SR7, I got microwaves. Hold on. I know where to find it. It's in the background of the S&T booth. STRV9? Is that it? STRV9. That's it. That's the one. The super giant grip revolver. This thing looks like a child drew a revolver. This thing is so horrible and awful looking, and I hate that I want it, but I do. It's also the STSM. I don't know that one. I don't know the STSM. STSM 21? STSM 21? That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. It looks like there's a few different versions of it. There's also someone who shared a picture of something that is very much not that on Reddit that says STSM 21. Intended to replace K7. Well, if it does, maybe we can get K7 parts kits. You know, if S&T is looking to expand to the US market, no reason we couldn't get parts kits from Korea, right? Right? Maybe. That does look pretty good. Kind of a PDW style collapsing stock. Although it looks like it has a buffer tube in there. I can't tell if it has a buffer tube. Or just like a little short one. Imagine if they start replacing it, S&T themselves. Oh, voice crack. Would just bring in the K7s. Maybe, but they would definitely have to modify them. Because K7s have a fun switch. Which very much is a red flag for the ATF. What gun is that? That was the S&T Motive STSM 21. There's also, what is that? The KSPW. They have it on the background in their sign, but if you search for it, here. So back here in their list, they have the KSPW. But when I search for that, I don't get anything. What is this? I don't know what that is. Is it a riot launcher? It might be. But it looks like it's got it's too small of a barrel and a magazine in it. I don't know, if I search Google for it, nothing comes up. So I don't know. I don't know what that is. But just you will sacrifice a goat to Dangan if S&T brings in the XK8. XK8? What's the XK8? Hello? Korean CR21, is that you? I need it. I need it. It's Korean CR21. Ian, when he did his coverage, was very eager for them to bring in K7, K5. K5 is very cool. Oh, I clicked make bigger and it stayed the same size. I'd definitely buy one of these. I'd definitely buy one of those. What I really want is South Africa to give me CR21s. Because this definitely has the same vibe as CR21. Very short Wikipedia page. But they gave me a picture. K5 was one of Ian's first 9mm pistols. That's pretty cool. Getting Gun Jesus. Getting Gun Jesus. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest, the pistols, the Daewoo pistols, of all the Daewoo things, The pistols are cool, don't get me wrong. But the pistols are the least interesting to me. Like the rifles, belt feds, the PDWs, SMGs. That's really where my mind's at. You know, South Africa, to say retro Galil, like a South African, what is the designation? L5? Is it L? Is L the designation for the South African Galil? I know it's a 456. I don't remember the letter that it goes with. R. R? It's R. The R5. R4, R5, R6. Pistols are generally the least interesting. Generally, yeah. There are exceptions. There are some very interesting pistols out there. But generally, long guns are more interesting. R1, FAL, R2, G3, R3, I forget. R4, Galil, R5, Galil. There's 3 in a row. There are different size Galils. It could be 345 or 456. I don't remember. But 3 of them are different Galil sizes. Gotcha Guns would know. Gotcha knows. Gotcha's a big fan. It's 6. It goes 6. It's 456, not 345. You love Gotcha? Gotcha's great. You want the Vietnamese Galil? I want the Vietnamese Bison. I want... Oh, I don't remember its designation. The Vietnamese SN7P. This one. Vietnam Bison. It's like you crossed a bison with a Galil, old school Galil, the good Galil. Ferocious, you want a Vietnamese girlfriend? How about a Vietnamese waifu? You like it? You want a better stock? A better stock? They make one with a cheek riser as well. They make a cheek riser for it. No muzzle device, by the way. These are very, very odd, very interesting. And there's so many countries have so many cool guns out there. Skeletonized stock, yeah. Yeah, it's got the paratrooper style stock. I love those. I love those so much. I'm still waiting for Robinson to bring back the paratrooper style stocks for the XCR, because I definitely would buy one. And they're only on the super retro Robinsons. Can't believe it's only 2 a.m. It is 1 a.m. for me. I was gonna end stream like an hour ago. Like literally when Grizz raided, I was like, yeah, probably approach the end of stream, and then Grizz raided, and here we are an hour later. Which is fine. That's fine. If I can sit here and talk about weird niche Vietnamese or Korean guns, that's perfectly fine with me. Perfectly all right with me. I remember that like it was yesterday. It was yesterday. Just like it was yesterday. I am going to have to keep my eyes open for a Heiser PKO 45 now. Now that I know they're not being produced anymore, it makes me want it more. And then I can have, well, not Heiser's whole collection, but more of it. Louis, if not for XCR, probably get my hands on the ZM LAR 300. What's a ZM LAR 300? That feels like a gun that I will recognize once I see it. Okay, yes. Yes, I know that one. The LR 300. Yeah, it's got the funny like construction site tube stock. The square tube stock. Is there a larger image of it, please? No? Okay. There we go. Ooh, oh, that picture got a lot larger. Bar stock. Like the folding paratrooper stock. Oh, it's also got it's also got the A2 grip, 4 grip. At least this guy's does. Zoom. Do you want the folding paratrooper stock? Usually people want this one. This is the version people usually want for this gun. That's the version I would want for that gun. You want the paratrooper style stock for it? This one. That one's okay. That one's okay. It looks, the lines are a little awkward going back into the stock. You've got like, oh, I feel like you've got too many different connectors going back into the stock. Ferocious. Your crate of MRE has arrived today. Did you get any veggie omelet ones? It's got jank foregrip. Yeah, that one of them did. Some of them do. I know that you'd probably own both stocks anyways. Rest in peace your wallet. Owning 2 of those. Good luck. It shouldn't be any. Now you sleep. Everyone agrees that the veggie omelet MREs are the best, clearly. I have never tried one, but people say they are so bad that I'm going to be completely honest. I'm a little curious. If I found a veggie omelet MRE, I probably would buy it just to like try it. If it was really cheap. The if it was really cheap is an important factor here. Ferocious, now sleep. Mao, now also sleep. Everyone going to bed. Sleep well. Sleep well. Have wonderful dreams. about weird guns. Peas and carrots. Better than noodles and carrots. Throw some shade. Just a little bit, real quick. Alright. I probably I also will be heading to bed here pretty soon. It is approximately 1 in the morning. About 1 in the morning. So that does probably mean it's about time. About time to be raiding out. So we are going to raid out. Louis didn't say 2 LR300s. Buying the other stock if I want to swap out. Where are you going to find the other stock without the gun attached to it? I feel like those guns are pretty rare. I could be wrong about that, but those seem like pretty rare guns. All right, who do we raid today, chat? Who do we raid? There's so many people online. So many people online. Koki. We could raid Koki. We could raid Batty. Batty's streaming right now. He used to do unsub podcast stuff. The stock itself, not proprietary by any means. That's true. That is true. All right, who do we raid? Who do we raid today, chat? Do we raid Koki or Batty? Do we raid Frog VTuber or Fleshman? Koki? We gotta vote for Koki. Metal Gear. Oh, she is playing Metal Gear Solid. You're right. You are correct. She is playing Metal Gear Solid. I have not played Metal Gear Solid, so I can live vicariously through other people. I've not played it, but I've seen it played through many times. So I don't even need to play it at this point. We can just watch other people play it forever. So we are going to raid Koki. And can we host anybody on Kick? How do we host people on Kick? I don't know. I don't know how to do that. It's probably possible, but I don't know how. So we're going to raid out on Twitch. Kick, this stream is just going to disappear. So we're raiding Koki. Oh, hold on. We have raid messages. So grab your favorite raid message. If you are not subscribed and you grab the subscriber raid message, you may look a little silly. It's very possible. We're raiding Koki. I will be back on Saturday, back with a Saturday stream. No stream tomorrow from me, but that's okay. There's lots of other cool people streaming. And yeah, thank you everyone for stopping by today. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you again, Grizz, for the raid. I appreciate you all very much, and I will see all of you